welcome back to State of the Nation. As controversy continues to trail the eligibility or otherwise of Ibrahim Magu to remain as the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, having been rejected twice by the National Assembly, the presidency has said he would remain as the head of the Anti-Corruption Anti-Graft Agency. Well, initially we were supposed to have hooked up with Chima Nwankwo. He now joins us from our Benin studios. I understand we still have Ota Opopo, Vincent. He's a constitutional lawyer, as well as Emeka Ochebolam, an anti-corruption lawyer there in our Abuja studios. Just before we delve into the next topic, let me ask you, Chima Nwankwo, you are the convener, Bribe Codes Campaign. How do you see this bill being presented to the House of Representatives? Would you keep it or would you throw it out?
You say that again, I didn't quite get that. Would you
throw the bill, the economic, what do you call it now, the bill before the National Assembly, the House of Representatives, I beg your pardon, would you throw that bill, the economic amnesty bill, would you throw it or would you keep it?
Absolutely. The bill should not go into law, at all.
Why do you say so?
Very simple, really. There are many reasons why that bill should not become law. The only positive thing I can say about it is that it is willing to take a different view of anti-corruption, and that's good. But in almost every other department, it falls flat. First of all, the bill will legitimize the process of corruption. And the reason why, if you look at Tunisia, which started the Arab Spring, they had an economic amnesty bill, which was proposed to the Senate and to their own House of Assembly in 2015. The public protested and it was dropped. Now that bill actually proposed 100% refund in return for no prosecution. But our version of the bill is different. It proposes that the money that should be refunded is 37.5%. while 62.5% is retained. And the problem is that this bill does not apply only to corrupt people. It applies to drug peddlers, to drug dealers, to money launderers, to even kidnappers. So future advances can also come under this bill to legitimize what they have earned. So I think that in every direction, this bill is actually negative and should not become law.
Okay, let's move on now and look at the next issue we're looking at the moment. Emeka Ochebolam, he is indeed an anti-corruption lawyer. Looking at what we have as a seeming row between the executive and the Senate, the executive relies on Section 171 of the Constitution to say that it needn't present Magu to the Senate for confirmation after it has done so twice. Some say once bitten, twice shy. What do you make of what's happening?
The simple position of the law is clear. We don't need to be sentimental here. The Constitution is superior to the EFCC Act. And that is the case. Now, I feel that this matter should be decided by the judiciary. If they, instead of suspending the act of, the work of the parliament because of one man, what stops the Senate from taking the executive to court? Let the Supreme Court rule over it. The executive is saying you don't have power to confirm Magu. The legislator is saying by the EFCC Act, which we know is inferior to the Constitution, they have the powers. Now, the mistake was from the executive, because all this while, since 1999, the executive has gone to the Senate for confirmation. Now, if the executive has begun to, is beginning to realize itself, understand the power it has, and the legislature is quarreling, let us go to court. Let them appear before the Supreme Court. Let the Supreme Court decide the matter. But I feel that by the provisions of the Constitution, which is superior to the EFCC Act, the president can go ahead and appoint anybody as the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. That is my take on the matter.
Why the sudden resurgence, do you think, by the Senate? It's insistent that Magu is not fit as chairman or acting chairman, for that matter, of the EFCC. Why do you think the sudden surge has come at this time?
It's basically because it is a constitutional matter. The Constitution is a diagram norm, the highest law from which other legal authority and laws derive its legal validity and effect. Section 2, subsection 3 of the EFCC Act is already in the public domain, but permit me to replicate the provisions of the law as it is. That appointment of chairman and members of the EFCC, of the commission, other than the ex-official members, shall be made by the president, but subject to confirmation by the Senate. The question that lies for begging for an answer is this, at this stage. What relevance, what constitutional relevance, what statutory relevance is Section 2, subsection 3 of the EFCC Act is if a nominee of Mr. President to the position of EFCC chairman can continue to act indefinitely in that office upon rejection for confirmation by the Senate. That question needs to be answered. I beg to disagree that EFCC Act is superior to the 1999 Constitution. Let us not go and begin to place which law is superior and which law is not superior at this national life. Section 154 of the Constitution stated, 153 stated of listed all federal executive bodies, which is EFCC is part of. Section 154 stated as follows, that chairman of the bodies established under the preceding section 153 shall be appointed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but subject to confirmation by the Senate of the National Assembly. There are two things that exist in that section, appointment and confirmation. Now, just oppose it with the latest argument with respect to section 171 of the Constitution. What are the appointments under section 171? 1. Appointment as to the Secretary to the Federal Government, A. 2. Head of Service of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. 3. Permanent Secretaries and Head of extra ministerial departments. 4. That of ambassadors, high commissioners, and principal representative of the government.
I'm afraid
of Nigeria abroad. Now, when you look at that section, read it down, you will see subsection 4 of that section 171 of the Constitution says that.
My apologies. I'm afraid that we're unfortunately running out of time to continue this conversation. Perhaps we'll just try to bring it in with confirmation, of course, from our editors to see if we can have to revisit this very important topic again. Chima Nwankolo, convener, bribe code campaign from our Abuja studio, from our Benin studios, that is. I want to thank you so much indeed for being part of the show, as well as a constitutional lawyer, Vincent Otaopupu, with Emeka Ochebula, an anti-corruption lawyer, speaking to us from our Abuja studios. I want to thank all of you gentlemen for being on State of the Nation, and of course to you for listening. We'll try to find time again to have this very interesting conversation. Many thanks indeed for watching. I'm Kimba Umar. Bye for now.